Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. I am your host, David Dodge, joined by my co-host, Mike Slane today. Mike, what's up, dude?
What's up, Dave?
Up.
How are you, man? Just
I'm
living
good,
the
buddy.
dream. Living the dream here.
Living the dream. So our acquisition manager just texted us last night and said that he just wholesaled a deal up in North City. It's not a huge deal. I think it's about $12K profit. But the funny thing is he sent me up there to go do a walkthrough of the property, and I didn't even get out of my car. It was in a really bad part of town that I don't buy houses in normally. And it was a big house. I mean, this thing was like 3 stories, all brick. Let me pull it up here so I can give you guys the real deal. Holy,
let's go ahead and let's take a step back too for a second, Dave, while you're doing that. So let's talk first. What do we do here? We're discount property investors. We wholesale residential real estate. That's our first passion, I guess you'd say, when it comes to real estate investing. It's how Dave and I met, how we connected as partners, and why, part of the big reason why we're still together is because we like wholesaling properties. It's fun. It's easy to do. And it's profitable. So we built the rest of our business.
Do you
around.
have, you need to click the noise reduction thing on the eCam. I'm picking up 2 mics from you right now.
Well, I'm only using Zoom, buddy.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So what you're picking up, you hear a whirl in the background? Or something
maybe.
like that?
Yeah.
So my computer, so I'm using the MacBook. When I'm at home, it works really hard when I use all the peripherals. So like I plug in the good mic or an extra camera, and you can hear it just buzzing in the background. So what I will try to do.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal. No worries, man. So, hey, this house was 3,800 square feet. It's huge. It's a big ass house. And I didn't get out of the car because it's not the best part of town. I didn't have any, sort of weapon with me, nor do I want to ever have to put myself in that situation. I got out of my car and walked. Actually, I did get out of my car and I walked basically around the backyard just to get some outside pics, but I did not go inside the house. And the reason that I even did go there, Mike, is because in order for us to do the wholesale, we had to fund it. We had to buy it. Now, luckily, this house was only like $5,600 or something like that. So a little over $5,000. But we were very confident that, with the property and the condition that it had a value closer to, 15 or 20,000. And the plan was really to just buy it and then list it. So I guess you could say this was more of a wholesale, really. I mean, we didn't touch anything. We didn't even go in it, right? And it hasn't closed yet. So I don't want to speak too soon, but I can tell you the projections of what we just did. And we've done this about 50 times probably in the last, 3 years, this exact same type of deal. So again, we found a motivated seller. They were probably asking 15 or 20 grand. I don't know if you have it pulled up or not, Mike. But we basically got it. We basically got it locked up at 5,600, and we closed. We did pay that much money to the title company plus the closing costs. So we took ownership, and all we did was just pay like $250 to get some insurance on it in case it burned down. Because the cost of that thing burning down and having to go in and haul it all out and then fill in the ditch would be more than what we paid. So it's just worth it getting insurance on it, right, guys? Even if you're only going to own it for a week or two. And that's factored into the 5,600, I believe. And then we listed it. It's been listed for 4 or 5 days. Yesterday evening, last night, Travis said that he had a $12,500 spread on a buyer that just sent over an offer. So we signed that. So hasn't closed quite yet, but it makes for a really great deal. Very little work. Travis closed them over the phone. I went there only because we were going to invest $5,000 plus dollars. So, you know, I like to look at where my money's going to if I can. But again, I wasn't even worried enough to get out of the car, or I did get out of the car, but like to go in the property, right? I didn't care. I just wanted to make sure that there was a house there that, you know, was in the photo that we were looking at. You know, was this real? So that should close in like a week or two. It makes for a great little case study. You know, it was a lead that we got from driving for dollars. So we used the Deal Machine app to drive for dollars for the lead. And then we exported that information over into batch leads, and we skip traced it and we texted the seller. That's exactly how we found this lead. Driving for dollars mixed with skip tracing and texting. So driving for dollars, Deal Machine is what we use for that. And the skip tracing and texting, we use batch leads. And it's the best way to go about finding leads right now. Everyone is on their phones due to COVID. I mean, it's been really successful for us for the last probably 8 to 12 months. But right now, especially, we are having tremendous amount of success skip tracing and cold texting, Mike. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with, like you said, the COVID thing. Yeah, it's happening, it's out there, but it's because more people they have their phones on them. They're paying more attention. They're thinking about their money. They're thinking about, hey, this property that's sitting there, this guy's selling it for 4 or 5 grand to us. He's thinking, man, I should cash out of this thing. And that's exactly it. So being able to text people when they're wanting money, being able to liquidate or cash them out of a property, give them some liquidity is a huge value. So yeah, wholesaling still happening. We're still very big on it, and again, we're kind of pushing a little bit harder on it now, actually. And one of the things that we're doing, like Dave said, is we're texting people big time using the batch leads .io. It's awesome.
Yeah, batch leads. It's Batch Leads Stacker is the name of the company, but the website is batchleads.io. I just did a podcast yesterday, Mike, with Jesse. He is one of the owners and founders, or I shouldn't say one of the, and he's really trying to grow the platform right now. They're having tremendous success. He gave us a special offer to offer the listeners and the viewers. So I don't want to turn this into a pitch by any means. However, this is an amazing offer. So I would be stupid to not tell you guys, and you guys would be stupid to not at least look and check it out. But basically, he's offering for just $1, you can try the service for 14 days, and he's going to give you 500 text messages for that $1. So you basically get a trial for $1 for 2 weeks, and then he's going to throw 500 free text messages into the platform. So if you want to go in and you want to test out some skip tracing, or if you already have some phone numbers, you can go in there and you can text from the platform, for basically a $1 trial. Check that out, guys. He just gave me access to this like 10, 12 hours ago last night. Yeah. And it's $1, right? So batchleads.io/Dave, DAVE. So batchleads.io/Dave. Check it out. $1. Even if you guys aren't interested in doing this type of marketing long term, check it out, because it's so much more efficient to use technology to get your message in front of motivated sellers than it is to trade your time and or send mail, right? Technology just makes it so much simpler. You can reach like 15 times as many people for the same amount of dollars spent doing text messaging. These guys were telling me last night, now this isn't launched yet, these new features, but Mike, they were telling me they're going to be adding a dialing system and an RVM system built in. Nice. So already it's cool because they skip trace. Oh yeah, man, it's great. Already it's cool because they skip trace and they do the texting, but then they're going to add in the RVM system. They're going to add in cold calling, dialer, and then eventually said they're going to get to lists in the next couple months. But here's one thing that is super cool that we haven't really utilized a whole lot in the past, Mike, either over at Batch Leads. They do list stacking. And, I've never really thought list stacking was that cool until recently, you know, I've been talking to a lot of investors, and some of their biggest deals are deals that are highly targeted. So how do you do that, and what is list stacking? Well, let's talk about this for a second. So, you know, if you go out and you pull a list of, you know, vacant houses, right? And let's say you get 2,000 people on that list. And a week or two later, you're like, okay, cool. Now I want to do a marketing campaign to people that have had have gone through a divorce in the last 24 to 36 months. And then you get another list, and that list has, 2,000 people in it, let's say. And then finally, a month later, you go in a certain neighborhood. You're like, I really like this part of town, this zip code. I want to find all the high equity people in this zip code, and let's say that they have to have equity of, 35 or 40% or greater, right? And so now you have 3 lists bought at 3 different times. Well, when you import these lists into Batch Lead Stacker, batchleads.io, they will show you if they're on other lists, and you can sort by the contacts that are on the most lists or see which list they're on. So what that really means, though, is if you have somebody that has a vacant property, it's absentee owned, and it's got high equity, right? You are simplifying your search to find motivated sellers. So imagine if you only marketed, and I'm not saying to only market, but imagine if you did, or another way to look at it would be, what if you started marketing more heavily to these people that are on 2, 3, 4 lists? Maybe they have tax delinquencies. They're out of state owner and it's vacant with high equity. Like, what are they waiting for? What are you waiting for? So the list stacking, Mike, is actually one of the coolest features that I like about it. And
Dave, this is something I wanted or like tried to do on my own 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whenever I was starting. And it is so hard to take 2 multiple lists.
Oh,
and
give it a rest, bro. It's impossible unless you go to school for that. Yeah, man, I've always wanted to do this. So the cool thing is that they just made it so easy. The templates are like, whenever you go to add data, there's no template. I can't stand it whenever I have to download a list and then go clean it up and then copy and paste it and screw it up and do the whole concat feature to get the address into one line. None of that. Any list you buy from anywhere, you upload it and you just pick the columns that line up and it imports the way that it imports. Mike, this is crazy too. This kind of does sound like we're selling it because we like it so much, right? But that's not the case. I'm just having a conversation with you. Check this out. So I've only been using them for maybe 2 months at this point, maybe a little longer, but not long. The point is not long. And I've done skip tracing in there maybe 6 or 8 times at this point. And the first couple I did were like 3,000 or 4,000 contacts, right? I did a skip trace the other day with like 500 or 600 contacts on it. So it's a smaller list.
Right.
And it doesn't skip trace the same contact again if you've already done it in the past. So it saves you money on the matches. And I saved more money on the match of my last single skip trace batch than the monthly cost of the service.
Yeah,
I'm 2 months in to using it. So imagine after you've used this for 2 or 3 years, when we go to skip trace a crazy big list, it may filter out 80%, saving us thousands of dollars because we've already contacted those individuals or have them in a follow-up system already. It's only the new ones. So it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, no, starting wholesaling now, or even wholesaling now, I mean, we're benefiting from all this technology as well. It's just so much different. It's so much easier to get big data, manipulate the big data to your advantage. So yeah, something like this is kind of a game changer, and definitely, again, for a trial, be able to $1 go in there and play with a texting software that is compliant. Again, you have to have compliance issues. You want to follow up with all that stuff and play by the rules. I mean, it is for $1 to try it out. It's definitely worth checking out. So,
oh yeah, man, yeah. It's awesome. I had some people online last night that were in a group, Facebook group, a real estate group, and they were talking about, the services that you don't have monthly fees on, like you don't have a membership to. And there's pros and cons, right? Like those typically you're going to be paying 3 to 4 times more per message versus buying a membership or bulk and getting your messages cheaper, but then having a fee. And it really just depends on, what service or what level that you're going to want to do it. But that's the beautiful thing about technology is it's so cheap. Like imagine trying to send a letter to 10,000 people, right? I mean, how much is that going to cost you? You're looking at, 54 cents, give or take, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something along that line. So you're looking at, 10,000 people, you're looking at, $4 to $5 grand. And you could essentially send, 10,000 people a text message after you skip trace them for, I'd say, let's see what that equals. 1,500 bucks. So a third. Yeah. I mean, it's the way to go. Very cool. So yeah, that we'll keep you guys updated on the deal that we just got sold, the B2C signed with the $12,500 spread.
That pays for this service for us for the next 15 years, essentially. So
that is very true. 15 years of, very cool. Guys, 500 text messages for $1. It's a 14-day trial. batchleads.io/Dave. Mike, I'm going to go jump in and start doing some cold texting because I want to go do some more of these deals and make 12 grand. This is so incredibly easy. Guys, wholesaling is nothing more than being an expert at marketing. So find the ways to market that work the best for you, that are the most convenient, and of course, the most cost effective. Anything you want to sign off with, Mike?
Nope. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, please visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support, and remember, you make your money when you buy, and you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.